All right, and welcome back to the Only Scott 2026. Still don't have a guest. It's just myself today doing a Q&A episode. I haven't done one of these in probably about a year and a half. No, longer. Maybe 2 years. I haven't done one of these in a very long time. And if you listen to my last podcast where I was talking about what's happening with the future, what you would have probably heard. Fuck, what was I going to say? Damn, guys, I haven't done this in a minute, eh? I've been having a holiday. Well, I've actually been very busy, but I haven't been doing anything really with the podcast apart from a bit of, like, posting and stuff. So it's nice to be back, though. But I wanted to do some Q&A just because I thought it'd be fun. Something different that I don't normally do on the podcast. Talk about myself overtly too much when I have a guest on. Talk a little bit about myself, but, not too much. So I thought I'd go to, some social profiles, Instagram, asking some questions. I also did the Not Gonna Lie app, so I can't see people's username. And there's a lot of thirsty people out there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to answer all of those questions, but hey, my ego was definitely tickled a little bit from some of those questions, but there are also a lot of good questions in there, so I'll make sure I get to those. Anyway, Scott, shut the hell up and start getting on with it. All right, so I'll do the questions that were asked from my Instagram first. First one is from Washmart, just a business who follows me. We might have met. I'm unsure, so apologies if we have. First question is, what sleep tips would you give for a racing mind unable to switch off at night? Great question. So I love that question already. So for a racing mind, I've also encountered that a problem a lot in my life, and I've kind of gotten a bit better at it these days. I could go on a long-winded discussion, talk about some different studies, and talk about all kinds of things to do with how to get ready for bed in the evening to make sure that you get your solid sleep and get your REM and deep sleep. But let's just keep it simple. A lot of us are overthinkers, I think, who probably listen to this podcast, like myself. And the way that I find to quiet the mind, first of all, you really got to get off the phone before bed. It's hard. I'm a bit of a hypocrite. I'm sometimes still on my phone. I'm still trying to get better at this myself too. But honestly, get off that phone an hour or earlier before bed. Seriously. You're looking at people's profiles on Instagram, you're scrolling, you're not probably putting good things into your head before you sleep. So I'd start with that first. Get a nice book to read. I would start there. Another one to stop a racing mind is do some journaling. So journaling's really good. I find these days I'm actually very tired when I go to bed, so I don't need to journal as much, but I used to do a little bit. And I find if I just really write down my thoughts, what I'm going through, what happened throughout the day, and try and keep it a bit positive, don't make it all super negative. I know in the evening, if you're like me, a lot of the negativity in your life kind of hits you before you go to bed and your worries and anxieties. And I think it's really important you can acknowledge those. I think you should write them down, and you should also write down the positive things. And then I would try and give a go to be like, well, what are these anxieties? What are these stresses in my life? I wouldn't spend hours on this, but maybe in the evening you can just write down this was success today, but tonight this part of my day is bothering me, or this part of my life, I will look into this tomorrow. So then the next day, if you review your journal, you can be like, why was that bothering me? Or what is the issue? And, try and get a start on putting some, trying to figure out what's causing the negativity in your life, which is hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but maybe start there. I would say also to stop a racing mind would be make sure you exercise, not right before bed, don't do that, but exercising throughout the day. Getting out the physical exertion of energy is really important. A lot of this stuff I feel is common sense, but a lot of people don't exercise often. And I know, I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to do this, do that. Dude, you gotta go for a walk before you go to sleep. That's also quite good. Go out for a walk. Try and stay away from screens, the blue light. That's important. Another thing as well is to have a hot drink before you go to bed. A nice lemon honey tea, or I'm sure there's other, nothing caffeinated, of course. So I'd try and start there if you can. And message. Let me know how you go, because I think there's a lot of things that we can share. But yeah, just to summarize, so no screens before bed. Journaling is important. Make sure you do some physical exercise. If you can't really sleep, go for a walk to help with your mind. And yeah, I'd start there. The next question I have is actually from a friend of mine. Oh, Jez. Would you rather never do jujitsu anymore or never kiss the homies goodnight? Would I rather never do... Well, I kiss the homies in jujitsu. No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. The jujitsu jokes. Or never kiss the homies goodnight. I'd have to say never do jujitsu anymore. I think I have to kiss the homies goodnight. It'd be a sad time. Another question I got is from Dan Ruwang. Shout out. He's been on the podcast. Great dude. Great fighter. He asks me who would be my dream guest. And my dream guest to have on the podcast would be Chris Williamson out of everybody. He's another he's a very big podcaster. He has the Modern Wisdom podcast. I'm a big fan of it. I'm sure people listening know who I'm talking about. He's one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Very interesting topics he has. Gets very deep. Talks a lot about everything from health, entertainment, to political, geopolitical, science, engineering, environmentalism, business, economics. I just love that stuff. It's all over the place. So a bit of an influence for the podcast myself, but the guy's quite interesting, going from like professional party boy to kind of like this, I don't know what you call it, like a positive role model for men podcast or something like that. So I think that one would be, that'd be really fun, and it'd be really interesting to learn more about him. But there's obviously a lot of people I'd love to have on, but that's one that comes to mind straight away. So there were some fun ones on this not gonna lie questionnaire thing. Some of them, like I said, some thirsty people out there. Thank you very much. My ego is boosted. Thank you for telling me how cute and good looking I am. I much appreciate it. Yeah, love all round. So thank you to whoever submitted those questions. Those facts. Facts, bro. I'm fucking handsome. But no, thank you. Ego boost. How old are you? I am 31, which is sometimes a bit scary for me to say out loud. I sometimes still in my head think I'm 25, but my lines on my face and with some wrinkles remind me I'm 31. So yeah, 31 years old. 31 years young. Yeah. Why not we do that? Another question is, when are you going to do post-fight interviews like Joe Rogan for New Zealand? Bro, I would love to do that. Sign me up. I don't know where to go and do that, but I would definitely go and go hang out and interview the fighters after they fight or be in the media. Hell yeah, that'd be super fun. Whoever asked that question, put me in touch. Not sure if I want to do Joe, like the old school Joe Rogan style, when someone gets knocked out and he just runs in there like, wait, what did you think about that? It's like, maybe maybe not on that level, but yeah, it'd be really fun to do some media. It'd be a lot of fun. That'd be really cool. Someone said, this is very nice, by the way, so this is another anonymous message, but someone said, I don't think people realize how self-aware you actually are. Like, you play along with the social stuff, but you see right through it. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that very much. I am very self-aware. I spent a lot of time, a lot of introspection, a lot of overthinking. And I've kind of ended up in a place now where I'm quite comfortable with who I am, and I kind of know, where my, like the pros and cons are of oneself. And generally when there's people you meet in life, and they're kind of putting on a bit of a show for you. And it's important to identify those people and whether or not, I suppose, you're willing to accept the show they're putting on, or you're not willing to accept the show they're putting on. Behind a lot of people's masks they put on, there's a lot of insecurities. Social media is also a place where a lot of people try and get a lot of followers and clout and attention. And I mean, obviously, I'm kind of a part of this game, but I'm doing it my way with the podcast and other things. But I do think a lot of people are actually deeply insecure, lonely, and want love. That's what I think it is often. So I think it's important that we spend time learning about who we are and learning about. It doesn't mean we all need to go to therapy. I think some people need therapy, and that's really important. But I don't believe that. I believe that people should spend some time learning about themselves. And if there's a lot of, let's say, there's a lot of not nice things happening in your life, and it sort of seems to be like a snowball effect of what seems to be bad luck, maybe, need to have a look at why that bad luck is happening. Is it bad luck, or is it just you? There is such thing as bad luck, I believe, but we all create our own destinies, and there is always a choice. We're getting very deep right now, but that's just kind of where my head goes anyway. But yeah, be mindful of people who put on the mask as well, and who try and perform for you to be somebody else in front of you. I think you've got to be careful of those kinds of people if they're being truthful or authentic. It's a hard lesson for us to learn, though. But as you get older, you can kind of identify these things a bit easier. So, yeah. Thank you for that comment. And, went on a bit of a tangent there, but there we go. Oh, this is a good question. Do you believe people can change? Damn, man. Oh, that's deep. Do I believe people can change? Just having a think. I think people can change parts of who they are, but at the core, I really believe 80% of people can't, if I'm being really honest. There's we can get very deep about this and look at, how someone is raised and what environment, with parents or without parents, and what kind of community they were brought up in, and what's accepted in that community and what's not accepted, and why they maybe did some things that aren't so good, but they believe that they're good. We all have our own perceptions of reality, and I suppose what's hard at times is. I think what's hard is, like, can you believe that someone going through all that horrible stuff, or, going through those experiences, can change? And my answer is, there's a lot of proof. There is proof of people changing from a lot of bad things that happen in their lives, and looking at behaviors and trying to examine them. But it's a shitload of work. It's a lot of work, and I think most people don't want to put in that effort, if I'm being honest. So that's why I say, maybe if I'm being a bit nicer, maybe out of all the people in the world, I'd say 30% of people can change, but I reckon 70% can't, because it's too hard for a lot of people. Most people want to ignore their problems and ignore the things they've done, and don't want to be wrong, because everyone's got an ego. So that's my answer to that. Next question. Hey, so this one was anonymous, but they put their name on it. It's Lachlan. I also been on the podcast. Great photographer. Shout out, Lachlan. If you had an unlimited budget to do anything you want for the pod, what kind of changes would you make? Love you, Triple X. Oh, love you too, bro. So if there's anything I wanted to do for change for the pod, unlimited budget. Okay. Well, I'll probably get out of this little makeshift studio I've got and get some frickin' aircon. I'm really hot right now. I've got a portable aircon unit here, but I didn't put it on because it's loud as and takes a while to cool down the room, and it's just a bit of a mare to get set up. But if I really could make a change, I suppose first things first, get a studio with aircon. That'd be good. Have a producer. That'd be great. Someone to help with the post-production stuff, as I've had a whinge quite a few times about this. And I would probably I'd be working a bit harder to probably do some advertising, I guess. And I reckon I would turn this into something a bit more, not like a media company, not like that, but I think I'd try and, no, I wouldn't, no, I'll take that back, not a media company, but I think I'd just try and do maybe some more off-site podcast kind of things. Maybe I'd try that out a bit more. Probably have a bit more guts to try and talk to more people's managers to bring them on, or get certain individuals on. Yeah, I guess that's if I had unlimited budget. So yeah, studio space with aircon, producer, advertising. Yeah, those probably be the main ones. Next question is, do you text a lot of people? I'm pretty bad at texting, if I'm being honest. I think when I was younger, I used to be a bit better, but that was mainly to text for ladies. So I'm okay. I wouldn't say I'm amazing at texting. You know what, guys? I like a good phone call. You know? Some people hate that. Obviously, you can just say some things over text, which is cool. I just like doing quick messages. But, like, I don't know. It reminds me of, like, high school when it's like, hey, what are you doing? Not much? Cool. Like, what's the plan for today? Not much? Oh, yeah. What had happened at school? Oh, yeah, this happened. Oh, nice. You doing homework right now? Like, fuck, man. Like, have a call or something. I'll go meet up. Like, I'd rather do that. But yeah. So the answer to your question is no. I don't really text heaps of people. I try and DM people when I can about podcast related stuff or trying to bring people on. But my outreach it's not the best. I'm trying to get better. That's something where I lack for sure. My outreach. Okay, next message is, I like this question. Your prediction of every champion in every weight division of the UFC by the end of 2026. Oh, big question. I have to try and remember them all and see if I can. And this episode is sponsored by me. Do you struggle with sleeping, and particularly struggle with light and sound while sleeping? I think it's time you get the sleep that you deserve. My business, Infinity Sleep, specializes in sleep well-being products to enhance your sleep quality. I've been using sleep masks and earplugs for the past 3 years to help improve my sleep, and I'm so stoked to finally have ones that have been created for my own sleeping needs. If you would like to learn more about my business, Infinity Sleep, please visit our website, www.infinitysleep.co.nz. By making a purchase, you are directly not only supporting a local Kiwi business, but also this podcast. Use the promo code ONLYSCOTT15% and receive 15% off your first order. Go to www.infinitysleep.co.nz to get the sleep that you deserve. I'm sorry, ladies. I can't remember I might have to look up the lady division, the women's division. But let me start with the men's. So in flyweight, we have, oh my gosh, Josh. Oh, dude, what is his last name? My God. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Flyweight UFC champion is Josh Van. Okay, right. Yeah. My prediction for him, because that last fight he had with Pantoja, and Pantoja, he obviously fell and broke his arm. That was very unfortunate. What do I think? I think Josh Van, I don't think he survives the rest of the year, if I'm being honest. I don't think he will. But I wish him the best because he's young, but I just don't think he will. I reckon if Pantoja comes back, that's it. Bantamweight, so we got Peter Yan, the new champion. Love Peter Yan. He looked incredible. I think what's tough about the fight he had with Marab was that Marab fought, like, was it his fourth title defense in 1 year? Yikes, that's a lot. I mean, trying to make history, massive respect. I could never do shit like that. That's fucking insane. But I think if there's a rematch, it'll be closer. But Pedian that was some of the best MMA I've ever seen in my life. That takedown defense was out of this world. The striking was just chef's kiss, man. So I think Pedian will be here for a bit longer. I do like Marab, but I think Pedian by the end of the year. If I'm wrong on these, my bad. So after bantamweight, we've got featherweight. So Alexander Volkanovski and Lopez. 2 is actually coming up next month. Man, I love Volk, right? I mean, New Zealand, Australia, we're brothers at the end of the day, Anzacs. I love Volk. I don't know what his plan is. I kind of think this might be his last year. And in that last fight with Lopez, I really did think that Volk was doing very well, but Lopez is so dangerous. And he can take a hit, and he's got some heavy hands. And Volk is, I don't like, it's not nice to say, but he's just getting a bit older, and I don't know, in that featherweight division, it's tough. But I'm a back him. I reckon Volk will only leave when he retires. He's only lost to the best fighters in the world, So, yeah, respect. But I think Volk will see out 2026. The champion above that in lightweight is Ilia Topuria right now, who's going through his divorces and that. So we'll see when he gets back. Bro, Ilia Topuria is staying there unless he vacates. That guy is out of his world amazing. One of the best fighters, I think, ever to exist. He's also young, so he's got so much more to do. Yeah. What do I think? I think he will be still, if he stays a lightweight, he will still be reigning supreme. If he's not in lightweight, he will go to welterweight to fight Islam. And if someone takes his place, I'm just going to be honest, I think it's Arman. I don't think Paddy beats Arman. And I don't think anybody, I think Arman's, I think he's really, really good. So I reckon Arman Sarukian if Ilia Topuria vacates. After lightweight is welterweight, so Islam Makhachev, dude, you're never getting rid of that guy. You're never getting rid of Islam, bro. How are you going to get rid of Islam? You're not. I'll be honest, this is a bit controversial coming from New Zealand and Islam having fought a few fighters from the side of the world. But he probably is my favorite fighter, and he's probably the best fighter of all time. I reckon he's better than Habib. I reckon he's better than everyone. I mean, him with Volk, that first fight, oh, man. That was giving Volk a good run giving Islam a really good run for his money, which was really, really cool. But Islam at welterweight is dangerous. I mean, Jack Della Maddalena is an amazing fighter, and I really like Jack. He's incredible. His boxing is just, chef's kiss again. But I just think when it came to that wrestling, I just don't think people in the West are that used to it. I just don't think people are used to that level. I mean, Volk did quite well, but no, I don't want to talk about that. It's not a good memory of Volk losing, but getting rid of Islam, I just don't see it. I don't see any of those top 15 guys taking him. I just don't. Ilia Topuria potentially if he moves up, maybe, but he needs to get bigger first, but still need to see a bit more from Ilia Topuria in the lightweight division. He's only just moved up, so need to see a bit more from him. So going up from lightweight, then we're going to, so after welterweight, we're going to middleweight. We've got Khamzat Chimaev. Again, good luck, man. I don't know who's going to, getting rid of Khamzat. It's going to be tough, bro. I mean, Dricus du Plessis is an incredible fighter, and also he didn't get submitted by Khamzat, which is impressive. So DDP, if he goes real hard on the wrestling, even more so, maybe he can figure something out. But I don't know, man. I don't think anyone's going to get rid of Chimaev. I really doubt it. I reckon he's champion at the end of 2026 for sure. Champion above that is light heavyweight Alex Pereira. Good luck, bro. Again, I don't think anyone's getting rid of him. I don't see anybody. I mean, look, Carlos Ulberg, CKB, like, of course, like, definitely want to see that fight. Maybe Carlos can get it done. He is amazing. Carlos is his last fight with Reyes, Dominic Reyes, I think. That was wow. That was just all class. Carlos, maybe. I'd like him to get it done, but I like Alex a lot. I like both of them. Oh, it's hard. I like both of them. If I end in 2026, I'm gonna say Carlos. I'm gonna say Carlos because New Zealand. So hell yeah, Carlos Ulberg can get it done. But it'll be a tough fight. That's for sure. All right, after light, heavyweight is heavyweight. So you've still got Tom Aspinall at the top. I watched a bit of his last fight. I didn't actually watch that card where he was with Lewis Gain. Cyril Gahn. Oh, my bad. Louis Gahn. Cyril Gahn. My bad. Cyril Gahn. I reckon he can. I don't know. Aspinall was looking not that great, but man, that Jones and Aspinall fight really needed to happen. It's obviously the White House card that's going to happen apparently, which is, I mean, that's happening, isn't it? Yeah, but I think, I think Tom Aspinall will still be champion. He is amazing. Right, I need to find the women division. I know there's Weili, and I know there's Kayla Harrison, but I get confused with which weight class they all are. So here we go. Women's bantamweight is Kayla Harrison. Damn, because she was going to fight Amanda Nunes. So she's a beast, bro. I don't know. I think Amanda Nunes. I think Amanda Nunes gets it done, if I'm being honest. Valentina Shevchenko. Nah, I don't see her losing. Shevchenko's amazing. Wei Lee's not champion anymore. That's right. Did she lose her belt? Oh, that's a shame. I did watch that fight. Oh, never mind. I won't. Sorry, I'm going on that UFC for so long. I need to I put a disclaimer in here for how long I talk about this because people are going to be like, I don't care about that shit. Which, you should, but fair enough. We all like her. We all have our interests. Shevchenko's amazing. I reckon she stays there. Mackenzie Dern. I don't know. Who else is in strawweight? Oh, Wei Lee. Yeah, man. Wei Lee coming back. Wei Lee's going to take that for 2026. For sure. Yeah, all right. Well, that's what I think of the champions. Great question. It was a very long answer. It's a long question to answer, but very good. Okay, here's I know who sent this question. Would you rather have your neighbor and his family over for dinner? You provide the food. Or Wagon Wheel is the only song you can listen to for a month? There's a lot of layers to that question. I would rather... oh, gosh. I can't reveal all of what's behind this question, but I will say that I would rather, you know what? Just for some fun? Nah. I'd rather listen to Wagon Wheel for, not every day, for a month. It's a terrible song. If you guys don't know that it's a song, the Wagon Wheel, I think originally by Bob Dylan, but it's, the most famous version is Darius Rucker. And I used to play that in a cover band a lot, and it was just painful. And everybody freaking loves that song, and it's just not that good. It's just not that good. Okay, I've talked about this on this podcast before, but anyway. Oh gosh, I'll have to have my neighbor over for dinner. Be a spicy dinner, but I'd rather do that. Next question is, similar accounts to yours that consistently support the local music scene. Probably not podcast-wise. I don't know too many. There's Kiwi Radio. There's obviously MusicNet MusicNet, Lisa from there. Music, is it music.net.nz? My memory today is terrible. I just need to double check that I'm not leading you astray here. I used to go on this website all the time. Yes, musicnz.net. Yeah, that's a really good one. Kiwi Radio is another good one. There's a account based. Oh gosh, man, I'm really sorry. I just my memory is just terrible today. There's a guy in Hamilton, Mockers Rock, Rock NZ. Yeah. He's Mockers Rock. Yeah, that's really really cool. He's a cool dude, and he represents. He mainly talks about rock and metal bands and stuff. But if you send him your stuff, I'm sure he'll talk about it or maybe have a chat with you or something for sure. That's kind of all I know off the top of my head. There used to be other little podcast channels and interviews, but there's not that many, I think. This is obviously mainly focused at the indie rock, hardcore metal scene that's based in Auckland or in New Zealand. I've had a couple of other acts from other parts of New Zealand on here, but definitely keen to, I'll still have some more on. I know I talked about last time, I don't want to do as many, but, I do have some plans for doing some music still. But yeah, I guess there aren't really that many, are there? Which is quite tough. Music scene in New Zealand's just very small. Okay. I'm not gonna. There's some interesting ones. Okay, this is a really nice question. This is actually the last question. So, this is a really nice one to finish up with. Sometimes I forget how rare it is to have someone who actually listens without waiting for their turn to talk. You're that person for me. Aw, thanks. Well, doing a podcast, right? The whole reason I bring on a guest is not to talk about myself. Imagine that. I just bring people on and I just have to I'm just there just dumping my shit on them. I think that's ridiculous. I just do it on my own. Just do something like this, right? But yeah, I think it's important you let people really explain themselves when it comes to talking about their background, their profession, their thinking, their way of life. Yeah, I think it's just important. I guess we do live in a society in New Zealand. Well, not just New Zealand, maybe in the West a bit. Well, not just the West, just people in general. We're all trying to get out our voice, our opinion all the time. The world is noisy. Sometimes it's nice just to sit there and just let people talk. And it's also a good way to figure out if people are really, are great or if they're full of shit. If you really want to know if someone's full of shit, just listen to them for half an hour. You'll figure it out within that time, or shorter. Some people can figure it out in a few minutes. But no, people have been on here. Oh, maybe they've been one or two, but most people have, 99% of people have been very authentic and very cool. But yeah, thank you. But that's why I do a podcast, where I'm here to listen. I actually grew up, and when I was growing up, people used to say I was really shit at listening. But I realize, not fully confirmed, but I'm fairly sure I have some kind of ADD or something. So when I hyperfocus, I'm fucking on. But when I'm just kind of not really listening, well, I'm not listening. So there's that. All right, guys, that's all the questions. So a bit of a short one today. Was it short? Shortish. I think we've done 35 minutes or something like that. I just want to say thank you guys for submitting your questions. They were really fun. And we're back to the guests next month. We've got first guest back as a cool one. Very unique individual. Does some exciting things. Not going to say what they do, but very cool. So looking forward to chatting with him. Oh, it's a man. We do need some more ladies on this podcast. So looking forward to that. And yeah, for the rest of this year, it's going to be guests again. The last month and a bit has just been, I still had a guest on. Well, yeah, last month has just been end of the year. I needed to take some time off. and kind of revisit things, redo the studio a bit. I'm also going to be posting up some new. I'll do like a little. Well, it's not much of a studio tour, but I'll do a little studio look at, because I put up some new posters and stuff, and they're pretty badass, man. So yeah, there's going to be some cool things happening this year with some really cool guests coming on, a few different subjects for the podcast again, and just excited to just to get back into it and be able to learn how to talk again. Seem to be, I haven't done this in a while. I'm like, bleh. But we'll figure it out, man. All right, thanks everyone for listening or watching. You've been awesome. I've been fucking handsome, apparently, according to a lot of these questions that have been sent through. But yeah, thank you so much. Bye.